Welcome and get ready to join us as we explore the history of our past in another riveting episode of our video series Canal Days with Robert Comu. Founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert guides you through the historic treasures of the Connecticut River Valley. From canals, cemeteries, churches, and beyond, experience the landmarks and their stories that are the foundations of Massachusetts' rich history. Visit holyokecanaltour.org for more details, book private tours, and watch the entire Canal Days video and podcast series. So get comfy and enjoy your personal tour right from the screen in today's episode of Part 2 of the American Revolutionary War Veterans of Elmwood Cemetery in Holyoke, Mass.
Now, in Part 1, we found 12 of the veterans. And we want to find the other 9 here. There is going to be an art contest based upon these veterans this year, as given by the Holyoke Preservation Trust. So we want to have all these veterans shown on video. There are 4 at Rock Valley, 4 in Smith's Ferry. There's 1 only in Forestdale, and there is 21 in Elmwood Cemetery. All right, so Parish Hitchcock, Deacon, died in 1831, and he went after the Revolutionary War. And when he came back, he actually moved up into the Rock Valley area, but he's buried here probably because the rest of his family. This is old Hitchcock around here. So they took him back and buried here when he died in 1831. So, can we find more? Well, let's look around here. Okay, there's a Joseph Ely here, and he's an American War veteran. He died 1830, and many of the Ely families here, Ely and Day, are the most represented names inside of this cemetery. So that's 2 of them. So let's find another one if we can. Okay, here's a Chapin stone. On the right is Sarah Chapin, wife of Asiel. On the left is Asiel Chapin. He was a Revolutionary War veteran, died in 1828 at the age of 80. Right, so that's 3 of them. Now, those 3 are pointing towards the north, and those are the only 3 in this cemetery that of the Revolutionary War veterans that are pointing towards the north. So you have to take that into account when you're trying to find them. All right, and here in the very same area, so we have many in this area as you come right off the entrance road. Here's a Jedediah Day, Jeddiah Day, died 1833, at the age of 85. He is an American Revolutionary War veteran, part of that vast Day family. His wife is buried next to him, right? Zeb. And so that's 4. But this one here, he also is on an obelisk tombstone. This is where he's actually buried, but another one of the marble obelisks around here has his name again, spelled a little bit different, Jedediah, but it's him. This is the actual burial place. The other one is just a cenotaph location for the rest of his family. All right, here's in memory of Jesse Morgan. He is an American Revolutionary War veteran. He lived on the upper part of Northampton Street. He died 1810, age of 60. Right, part of the vast Morgan family itself, which also is very well represented in old-time Holyoke. Okay, and here's a colonel in memory of Colonel Benjamin Ely, who died the 25th of December, 1802, Christmas Day, at the age of 72 years old, part of the Ely family. The rest of his wife is buried next to him, and probably his parents. is a big Ely and Morgan section towards the middle here. And he has a beautiful gravestone. So this one I very much appreciate. Okay, and here is in memory of Martin Chapin, who died April 4th, 1793. Probably died very young. His Bethesda Chapin is next to him. But he has our American Revolutionary War veteran plaque or emblem next to him. And a lot of the Chapin family is in this section here. Alright, for the last two, we're going to have to go to the northern edge of the cemetery itself. So most of the veterans definitely are in the southern edge, spread out across the first 10 or 11th, 12th row. Okay, let's see what we can see here. Alright, there is an Ebenezer Jones there. And there's another Ebenezer Jones over here. Now that back one is the father. He did not serve in that war. He died in 1839, age 90. But Ebenezer Jones II died 1838, age 67. The last year of the American Revolutionary War, he served as a sentry guard, and he's buried here in front of his father and alongside of his wife, Ludina Jones. Okay, so one more for today. So we found 12 last time, part 1, so watch that please. And then in part 2, we have to find 9 and we have one more left. Now this is not one, but Roger Williams, this is not the Roger Williams that started the Baptist religion. But it's a good reminder to point out that this was originally called the Baptist Cemetery when many of these men were buried here. And that's because the Baptists came out of Springfield, escaped from the Congregationalists, started their own church, and a lot of the original settlers were Baptists. Okay, so one more. There's a very big plaque here. The right-hand side is in memory of Sarah Morgan, wife of Titus Morgan. But on the left is Titus Morgan, who died 1834, age 93 years old. Incredible. Okay, so he's the last of the stones we need to find today. And a lot of these people came back after the Revolutionary War and stayed in Holyoke and settled here, farmed here. And if you enter the art contest, you can do artistic displays of these gravestones. Some of the homes of these veterans I have pictures of, and one of the houses still exists. So I've made enough video material to cover all 31 veterans who are buried in Holyoke who served in the American Revolutionary War. And all of their pictures, 31 gravestones are now, 28 of 31 gravestones are now up on my webpage. 3 of the gravestones are gone. So there's so much to do here, and we have a tour coming up, but we also have a presentation at the Holyoke Library where we will cover the Ireland Parish Goes to War, where we'll cover what these brave men did for their country and what they did when they came back. All right, so that's it, and I'm walking out to the last stone just to give you a complete cycle, and that's because at this last stone is the Day family itself. Okay, so I come back to Eunice Day, wife of Joel Day, died 1815, and the plaque was put up by the Daughters of the American Revolutionary Society, USA chapter. In 1925, 100 years ago, it was put up. And next to her is Joel Day, her husband, who served the longest of anyone from Holyoke in that war. He served almost a complete year. And his two sons who died during the course of that war because of the war are here below them. Edward, a veteran who died in New York, and Robert, a young boy who died in New York also. Okay, so thank you very much for coming along on this wonderful journey through this cemetery.